Good morning students, welcome back to information technology, server side scripting, hypertext preprocessor, lesson number 5. In today's lectures you are going to learn PHP arrays, PHP user defined functions, PHP functions argument, and PHP form handling. The last lectures we have seen how to use control structure in PHP, that is if statement in PHP, if else statement in PHP. Then we have learned PHP string functions. So today we will see how to use arrays in PHP, how to create an array in PHP. So let's start. So PHP array. An array is a special variable which can hold more than one values at a time. An array store multiple value in one single variable. That's the fit, or that is the advantage of arrays in PHP. An array store multiple values in one single variable. How to create arrays in PHP? To create arrays in PHP, we must learn first syntax. So in PHP, the array function is used to create an array. In PHP, the array function is used to create an array. The syntax of array function is $a equal array, and in the parentheses you have to give the value. Syntax $a, that is a variable, equal arrays, in parentheses you have to give the values, means you have to define the values to the variable. In PHP there are three type of array. That is, the first one is index array, arrays with a numeric index, arrays with a numeric index. Second one is associate arrays, so arrays with name keys, that is called associate array. And the third one is multi-dimensional array containing one or more array. Okay, in these lectures we are going to learn index array, because the associate arrays and the multi-dimensional arrays are given you to learn for self learning. It is given you to learn for self learning, and it is not there for the exam. That is called also non evaluative. PHP associate array, multidimensional array, and form connectivity with database. These three things are not there for the final exam, and it is given you to learn for self learning. So we are not going to see associate arrays and the multidimensional arrays, but you can learn. It is given in your book. Looking at that program, so you can type the same program and you will get a output. So we will see the index array. The index array can be assigned automatically. Index always start at 0. Let's see the syntax. $a means this variables. Once you are going to declare in the PHP, we must use the dollar sign with the variable, then equal, then the array, and in the parentheses we must give the value 1, value 2, and so on. This number you can give, then you can complete the parentheses. Look at this program now, how we can use this array function in PHP programs. While writing the PHP program, you know that first we use the HTML, then the body, and then we can write the PHP code. Like this code we can write. So while writing the PHP code, we must use the PHP tag, and then we are going to define the variable. So here in this program, the subject is the variable, and it is defined with the dollar sign, equal array functions. In the array functions we have taken the three values, that is English, Hindi, and Marathi. These three values are taken, and by using the echo statements we are going to print these three subject names. So here it is given in double inverted code. Whatever you want to print on the web page, you must write in double inverted code. So here it is written I like, then dots in dollar subject 0, then in double inverted code subject 1 and dollar subject 2. The next statement is, that is echo again. We are going to count all this, the length of these three values. So count functions will count the length of this value. So in this example, we are going to store the subject in an array at the index locations, that is dollar subject we are going to count as a 0, dollar subject 1 means Hindi, and dollar subject 2 means Marathi. So like this we are going to, so we'll get an output like this: I like English, Hindi and Marathi, and the length of the subject will get a 3 by using the count function. So let's see how we can use this program in PHP, how we can write this program in PHP. While writing the PHP program, we must open the any text editor or okay, Sublime text editor or Notepad you can use. So Sublime editor if you are going to use, then it will show error if you made a mistake. So the first tag will remain same, that is HTML, then body, then we can use the PHP tag. Once you open the PHP tag, then has to be closed down. Okay, then we are going to take the variable. While using the variable in PHP, we use the dollar sign. So dollar subject equal, then array function we can use. Array function syntax you learned just now. The syntax of array function is in parenthesis you have to give the value to that function. So here we have given the value to the function, that is 3 subject name: English, Hindi and Marathi. And now I'm going to print all this subject, okay, by using the echo statement. So echo, I have written here in double inverted code, written the first variable subject, and that I have taken 0 in square bracket, that is English subject, then the subject 1 Hindi and the subject 2 Marathi, and this I am going to count the length of this once it is stored in the array. So echo statement I use with the br tag and the count functions. So count subject, this is the variable name, and it will display the output. Let's see. Before that, you have to save this program and you have to open this program in the browser. How to open this program in the browser? Whenever you save any PHP program, you must go to the storage where you saved and open the browser. In the browser, you are going to type over here local host and the directory name where you store your PHP files, and press the enter key. You will get a directory list, index of project. In that, what name you are store that file you have to open. So here I save this file with the array.php. So I am clicking on this array.php. In this list where you save, there you have to go and click. So here array.php is written over here, you have to click and you will get a output. So here that output is shown: I like English, Hindi and Marathi country. So in this example, we store the subject in an array. Okay, by default index always start at 0, so that's why the 0 length is given for this English subject, then the Hindi 1 and 2 all together 3. So it is counted with the count function is used to return the length of an array. Okay, an array can hold many values under a single name, and you can access the value by referring to an index number. So now we are going to see how to use PHP user defined functions. So let's see PHP user defined functions. PHP user defined functions. So when you're going to use the function is a block of statement, and that can be used repeatedly in a program, and it will not execute immediately when a page load, but will be executed by a call to the functions. Which function you use, that function has to be called, then that function will work along with the built-in PHP function. So we can always create our own functions. A user defined function declare start with the word functions, that is syntax. You're going to see that first function and then you are going to use the function name. For example, function show. Okay, so show is the name is given to that functions. Okay, and then you can use the curly bracket and then code to be executed, which code you have to display on the screen, that you are going to use here, that is called code to be executed, and then complete the curly bracket. A function name can start with a letter or underscore, not a number. Function names are not case sensitive, so you can use anyhow. Okay, so now look at this program. In this program it is shown that how to use the function. So first function and then the function name. Here the function name is taken write message, so message function name is taken here, then the curly bracket and code to be executed, that is printed with the echo statement. This is user defined functions on to print on web page. That's why it is used with the double inverted code, and then complete the curly bracket and the function is called here. That's why they call the functions. This comments is written already, so write message function. So this function is called, and once the function is called, what the message is written with the echo statement, that will be display on the screen. Let's see how we can use see the output. Look here in PHP tag, then the function name is given write message, then open curly bracket. Now echo statement we use, this statement we use to print something on the web page, and here it is written that is this is user defined function. This statement will print on the page, and then you have to call the function name here. This function name we have to call over here. Once you call the function name, and if you open this program in this directory, you can see what name you are given. So function dot php, function name dot php to open, then this is user defined function. This message is printed over by using the echo statement. So that is the use of function. So function is used in PHP program to for the repeatedly in program. It will not execute immediately when a page load, but will be executed by a call to the functions. Now we are going to see one more example of how we can use the function. So one more program I'm going to show you, that is function argument. If you're going to use the argument with the functions, arguments like a variable only. Once we declare the variable, how we execute in the program, the same way we can use argument in the functions. So argument in the functions same like a variable. So arguments are specified after the function name inside the parenthesis. Now look here, the function name in the parenthesis, these arguments are there, dollar roll number, dollar names, and the echo statement we use to print this argument roll number and the name. Now see student 1 Ashwin, student 2 Raj, and student 3 Sonam, and these three value we are going to print by using the function. So we must use first argument in the function, and then we can print with the same argument. So let's see how we can use this. So let's see how to write PHP function argument. So open the text editor and start with the PHP tag. Then you can use the functions and the function name, and then you are going to insert the value in the parentheses. The value is taken roll number and the name. After that curly bracket you can use, then you can use the echo statement, then we can print the statement how we want to display on the page. So roll number is like this, it should be displayed. So roll number is roll number variable, this means first argument, and name is name second argument. Then we can use the br tag, and then on this place what we want, the roll number and the name of the student. So here is taken 1 and the name of the student is taken. Similarly student 2 roll number and the name, student 3 and the name. So if three values are taken, it will be display the output once you save this program. So save this program and open in the browser and see what output you are getting. So the output you got, roll number is 1 and name is Ashwin, roll number is 2 and name is Raj, and roll number 3 and name is Sonam. So like this output will be displayed once you use the function argument. So information can be passed to the function through the argument, and argument is just like a variables, and arguments are specified after the function name inside the parentheses. Now we're going to see how we can return the value by using the function. So returning the value, the function return a value, use the return statement. If you use the return statement, that value will be written. Look at this program, PHP function sum, integer $x, integer $y. These are the two variables are there. So $z equal $x plus $y. The $z will store the value of $x and $y, and it will return by using the return statement. So return $z, And if you are going to use the echo statement 5 plus 10 equals some 5 comma 10, that will be written 15. Here 7 plus 13, that will be written 20, and 2 plus 4, that will be written 6. So let's see this output, how this function will work. So when you start writing the PHP and the first HTML code, so you can use the HTML code, then body tag, and then close the same tag, body and HTML. Save this file. Now look here, the PHP tag function sum, we use integer $x, integer $y, because this number we are going to take, and we are going to store the result in $z variable. So $x plus $y return $z. So this z variable will display the result which we store by using the $x and $y. So echo equal 5 plus 10 and sum 5 comma 10. So this value will be written by using the $z. Okay, so this variable will display the result. So let's see how we can get the result of this function. So go to the local host and open the same file which name you have saved. So return.php I have saved. So look here, 5 plus 10 15, 7 plus 13 20, 2 plus 4 equals 6. So this value is displayed. So by using the return statement, we can return a value in PHP. So now we are going to learn PHP form handling. A simple HTML form with two input field and submit button we are going to write first. And once we have written that form, we are going to open the same form and we can see the output in PHP format. So when the user fill out the form and click the submit button, the form data is sent for processing to PHP file, which file we are going to include in the form. For example, welcome.php, and the form data is sent with the http post method. So here we are going to use the post method also to store the data onto the server. And then the code for welcome.php, I'm going to show you how it look like. So now let's see how we can create a form, PHP form. So how, when you learn HTML5, that time you learn how to create a form. The same way we can create a form. The first tag will remain same, that is doc type HTML, then HTML body. Then we can use the form tag, then name, input type equal text name, then you can give the name to the text box. Then you can use BR tag to go to the next line. Then email, input type equal text name email, and then one button, input type equal submit, name save. Save is the value, it will be displayed on the button. Then close the form tag, and then close the body tag, and close the HTML tag. This will display the form. But in this we are going to use the action and the method property of the form, the action and method property of the form. So here in the form we can use action property, and in this we are going to write welcome dot php. In this file we are going to store the data. In this file we are going to store the data. But how we are going to store the data? By using the method post. So we are going to use the method property of form and the value post. Okay, by using this action and method property of the form, we are going to create a welcome.php file. Means when you click on the save button, the data will be stored in the welcome.php files, and that will be displayed on the page. Sometime when we search any text by using the search engine, the data displayed, but the same thing will be displayed on the address bar, that is called URL. The same thing will be displayed on the URL or the address bar. But if you use the post method, there's a output you will get, but the thing what you search will be not displayed on the address bar. So that is the difference between the post and the get. So get method display information on the address bar. So information sent from a form with the get method is visible to everyone. All variable names and value are displayed in the URL. And get also has a limit on the amount of information to send. However, because the variable are displayed in the URL, it is possible to bookmark the page, and this can be useful in some cases. And get may be used for sending non-sensitive data. So get should never be used for sending password or other sensitive information, and that reason we can use the post. So information sent from a form with the post method is visible to everyone. All names value are embedded within the body of the HTTP request, but post has no limit on the amount of information to send. And moreover, post support advanced functionals such as support for multi-part binary input file, uploading file to server, and the variable are not displayed in the URL, so it is not possible to bookmark the page. So now let's see how we can get this output. Once you have saved this program, we have created one file here, welcome.php. In the welcome.php, the output will be stored. So before that, I'm going to show you the get method here. If you're going to use the get method, as I told you, the get method is visible to everyone. The amount of information which is stored will be displayed on the URL, and it is possible to bookmark the page, and this can be useful in some cases. Now see, for that welcome.php file also we are going to create over here. Now welcome.php, we are going to create a PHP tag, then echo statement, we are going to print this thing on the page. So here on the place of post, we can use here get, and in the square bracket we are going to display what things are on the page name. So that same thing should be here in name. So look here, name, because we are going to print the name and email ID, so that should be there in the PHP file where you are going to store that. And the next also, here we need get. So email and name we are going to print. Save this file, both the file you have to save and open in the PHP and check this. Now open the PHP form. Now this PHP form you got here, you can write the name and your email ID and click on submit. Once you click on the submit, see the data is displayed, welcome, your name and your email ID, but at the same time you can see here also it is displayed on the URL on the address bar. When it is happen, when sometime we are searching any website on the search engine, the same thing will be displayed in the URL as well as the information on the web page. Why it is displayed? Because the get method is working over here. But if you use the post method, this information will be not displayed, but the output will be displayed. And this post method we can use to store the password, username, etc. Okay, now we can see how we can use the post method. Now instead of get, we can use the post. And the welcome.php also we are going to change $_post, and also here also $_post, and save this. And PHP form also you have to save, and go back to the here and press Ctrl plus F5 to refresh the page, and then you can enter the information over here, email ID, and now click on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button, the data will be stored on the server, but it is not displayed on the URL. Look here, it is not displayed on the URL, mean the address bar it is not displayed. Means what, how you created that web page, how you store written the code in the PHP, nobody is going to understand. Means this code will be not displayed over in the URL, but that code is stored in the welcome.php file itself and it display the output. So this type of method is used to store the password and username on the website. So that's why we are not able to see what username and password we use, and sometimes we forget we are not getting that password or username. Once we recall, it gets from the database. So that purpose we can use the post method, and if you want to search anything, then we can use the get method. So by using this get and post method, we can find the data from the website. So that reason we can use get and post method. So I hope you understood this get and the post. So let's see once again what is different between get and post. Both get and post are treated as get and post, a dollar get and dollar post. That is called super globals. That is called super global, and which means that they are always accessible regardless of scope, and it can be accessed from any functions, class or file without having to do anything special. So dollar underscore get is an array of variable passed via the URL parameters, and dollar underscore post is an array of variable passed via the HTTP post method. So that's uh, different between get and the post. Post are used to collect from data, but the get is used to display the data on the URL. The result you will get the same. The same result could also be achieved using the HTTP get method. Just replace post with the get and post. I hope you understood that get and post different. I hope you understood all the function, that is array functions, then functions and the argument, then returns value in PHP form handling. In the PHP form handling, we have learned get and post methods. So my dear students, to learn PHP, the practice is important. The last lectures I have told you, you have to install the KS web app on your smartphone. Those students don't have computer at home, they can work on their smartphone by installing this KS web app and the Writer text editors, and practice all these practicals. Once you practice, you will come to know how to use the PHP. So once you understood, it will be easy for you. Otherwise you will find difficult how to write PHP program, because the PHP is server side scripting and it will work on server, not on the client machine. So for that reason you have to install the jam server and then you can work on this. Thank you.